Let's go to the turn of the century, turn of the millennium actually, early 2000s. An international toy making company was struggling for survival. Their sales were declining on the face of rise of online gaming, console gaming, etc., which were eating its market share. The internal innovation engine, the R&D lab, was not able to produce product ideas that could be a hit. To stay relevant, the company had also launched a few non-core products and pursued a few aggressive licensing deals which were not converting into business. Staring down the path of bankruptcy, the management of the company decided to do something radical, that is unique. They decided to give the reins of the product into the hands of their most passionate customers or fans. They created an online portal and invited the fans, the customers, and the community of players who are fans of their toys to come and join the community. Once you are in the community, the business incentivized you or invited you to share your product ideas in the community. Then run an online campaign to gather vote for your product idea. And if your product idea exceeds the threshold of 10,000 votes by the community members, the company decided to take ownership of converting that product idea into a real product and launch it into the market. Not only that, as long as the product would be sold, 1% of the revenue generated from that product would go to the idea generator or the customer or the fan who suggested that idea. Now, what do you think this unique strategy, this radically different strategy did for the business? Till I was studying this business last, I remember more than 33 products came out of this initiative, which became bestsellers and added millions of dollars in revenue for that business. Fan engagement skyrocketed. Millions of customers and fans joined the online community, creating or making it a place where creators and brand ambassadors collaborated. The innovation budget of the business went down dramatically because you don't need a fancy budget for ideas that are already pre-validated by the market itself. The best part of it all, the business got its mojo in innovation back and was able to connect back with its customers. If you have not guessed it by now, which I hope you have, we are talking about Lego, which used this unique strategy to transform itself from the verge of bankruptcy to becoming one of the world's top toy manufacturers. And the strategy Lego deployed is called co-creation. No, it's not exactly the same as open innovation. If you want to understand the difference between open innovation and co-creation, I suggest you ask that question to ChatGPT or Gemini or Copilot, whatever you are using, or you can DM me as well. Now, if you're thinking that Lego was the only company that has ever used or leveraged co-creation as a strategy to overcome its business survival needs or challenges, you would be wrong. Here is another case study. By the early 2010s, the athletic footwear market was getting saturated. Consumers were overwhelmed with choices with no emotional connect with any of the products. Nike's competitors were catching up, both in terms of design and performance. To stay ahead, Nike needed more than just an incremental technology. It needed a way to make each shoe personal, meaningful, and irreplaceable. Nike's solution wasn't to launch yet another campaign. It was to hand the design tools to the customer. They introduced Nike ID, which over time would evolve to become Nike by You, a fully digital customization experience where the customers could choose their own models, material, color, patterns. They could also give their shoes a personal touch by adding their own initials or a specific date or location that matters to them. They could preview designs in real time and order their own creations. But Nike didn't stop there. Over time, they evolved Nike by You into a co creation ecosystem. They introduced limited edition co creation drops in collaboration with artists, designers, community influencers, and celebrities. They tracked popular design trends emerging from this platform to inform the mainstream products of Nike. Data from Nike by You informed inventory forecasting, reducing both overproduction and waste. What are the results of co creation for Nike? Nike by You helped Nike increase its D2C revenue by over 30% between 2015 and 2020. It boosted brand loyalty, especially among Gen Z and millennials who value self expression and uniqueness. And it provided Nike with real time consumer insight into emerging color patterns, materials, and style preferences of Gen Z and millennials. The service became a strategic moat that competitors couldn't replicate at scale due to Nike's design infrastructure and the data system. Nike didn't let customers personalize products. They let them feel like co-creators of the culture. This transformed a transactional relationship into an emotional alliance. Co-creation isn't a gimmick. It's a scalable, strategic, and emotionally intelligent model for innovation, where the customers become part of the business architecture, the business ecosystem. And when implemented right, co-creation builds faster product market fit, great customer loyalty, stronger community ecosystem, and exponential creative leverage that no in-house team can match. Now the question for entrepreneurs, founders, co-founders, CXOs, CEOs is, where do you stand in the organizational maturity spectrum in the context of co-creation? I have four categories. The first category is what I call passive listeners. These are businesses that gather a lot of feedback from the customer but rarely act upon them. And the risk these businesses are in: first, high customer churn. Customers will leave you. Second, low relevance. Over a period of time, you will lose your relevance in the market. The second is what I call occasional testers. They run some co-creation campaigns occasionally here and there. The risk for these businesses is inconsistent innovation, which is never good for a business. The third category of co-creators is what I call embedded collaborators. Here, co-creation is integrated into the product and marketing workflows of the business. The advantage they have is a competitive advantage, and their innovation process is iterative. The last level is ecosystem enablers. These are businesses that build infrastructure for creators, not just consumers. And these are the players who dominate their industry. They dominate the category and become industry leaders. The question that I'm leaving you with today, after you have seen the power, impact, relevance of co-creation for a business, for brand building, for marketing, sales, revenue generation, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, founder, co-founder, and CXO, what are you, first of all, which of these you belong to? Are you a passive listener? Are you an occasional tester? Are you an embedded collaborator? Or are you an ecosystem enabler? Which are you right now? The second question is, what is stopping you from moving from your current position to the next level, to the next level, and to the next level? If you have questions on how to leverage co-creation as a strategy for your business, do write to me on the email ID given on your screen, and we can have a discussion. I'll see you in the future video. Whenever that happens, till then, take care and be limitless.